Welcome in Twin Flame Abundance Live. Today we're going to do another group card reading live. That's what we're gonna do here. And I prepared my oracle cards, and we also already prepared a topic, because last week we had this weird occurrence that I was doing a reading as well last week. Wasn't it let's see. Yeah, it was the angels we did last week. We did last week. And about union, about twin flame union, what they have to say about it. And they just made this card flip all over the place and it was gone. And that was the card of the universal Christ from the deck of Mary Magdalene. And from that one I read, it's indeed time to do a reading with the universal Christ and what he has to say for us to know about twin flame union and what it is and what not, right? I couldn't find that card. It seemed to have gone on the floor, but then it didn't. And eventually it had landed on my chair, I have to say. And just preparing a tiny little bit more here for what we are going to do. And I just had this feeling that he was so energetic. He was just all over the place here. And it's true. It's true. It was already true. Because I pass on harmonious twin flame union, which is a consciousness state. And that is the very foundation for what you actually desire when you say, I want to be with my twin flame. You want to be in this changed consciousness. Well, that sounds maybe tricky, but it's actually so that you will be healed. You will feel normal. It will be normal for you. It will be okay. Everything will be okay for you and better, much better. You grow into better and better and better from it. Because that is where you will meet the true twin flame. And that is the foundational place and energy where you can start building together so that it doesn't go away anymore. When you start building, you can start your mission there in a way that actually works more and more, better and better. That is the place in consciousness where you need to be for the flow of abundance to come to you that you naturally own there as the owner of your union, so to speak, the consciousness of your union. There is an abundance that belongs to you on earth, and it can come to you, it can flow to you. But that door only opens when you're with your true twin flame in harmonious twin flame union. And it is the only way it will be happy. And that consciousness state is able to be gotten early in the journey so that you can do the rest of the journey together with your twin flame, hand in hand, so to speak, right? By the universal Christ himself. That is what he gave us. That is what is his goal now on earth, to unfold that more and more for more and more people. That is so. That is accessible, that you can do it too. And that is his will. And that is what I engaged myself with. And I worked together with in the flesh, actually working together for some years. And then now we're working together in spirit only. And it depends on what you mean with the universal Christ to go more in detail about what exactly I mean. Well, I'm sure we're going to get more details from the cards and whatnot. And we'll start with my own Union and Mission card deck. that I just prepared a little bit more right here. But yeah, to say more about who or what that is. Well, it is that union consciousness itself. That is the universal Christ. But it's also a person that is on earth right now and is assisted by the spirit of our beloved, well known Master Jesus. Because all these things, these important openers of leading edge spiritual things that will be possible for everyone in the universe once they're opened, they only get opened by, yeah, certain people standing for a certain consciousness, and all the layers are there. It's a person, it's a consciousness, it's real in energy, it's real at the core, it's real, it's flesh. All of these things are there. And I'm able to bring you that message and the thing itself to you so that you can have it and you can be just with your twin flame right now. So happy I'm able to do that because I was initiated there. And I still work together there in spirit right now. So that's what that is. Sort of, maybe we'll learn more when the reading starts. And yeah, let's start. So we are going to start with my own card deck, as I said, Union and Mission cards. And yeah, let's, just like the earlier readings that we did in this format, let's just ask Universal Christ for, I'm going to get that same card up for you so that you can see how it came from last week to this week. We are going to ask, just like the last couple of times, just 4 cards with my own card deck right away, so that we actually maybe would just get the whole message at once, and then we'll just start to clarify it more with other card decks, because that's a lot of fun. No, that was wrong. This one is wrong. It's also blue. Okay, there are also other kinds of colors of cards here. I was like, oh, that's the blue one. Now we're there. But this is it. Right, here it is. You see the other blue card. Universal Christ. That was the card of last week. That's how he came out. So that's maybe like good to know. Interesting to have it like this. Because then we have a visual with it, right? That's how you can connect with a visual is often very profound and helpful. So that's why I show the cards very well, usually. Because it's like an extra layer of awesomeness that you can add to it all, right? So, Universal Christ, that's how we're going to call it right now, because it just came from that reading of last week. Give us 4 cards about what you are trying to tell us. And that was number 1 for resources. Can we have another one? For goal. And 1 for foundation. That should be the next place. Foundation. And then we want essence. And yeah, we're just going to sort of see what he's going to say. I think it will be very much about, there we have it, essence. It sounds logic to me that he's very much going to speak about, well, what we just said, how union consciousness, and in particular in the form of harmonious twin flame union, is what you need, and that's like the institution that you need to have your twin flame. And also perhaps how that is coming forth in the school that we're opening here, that is also in what it stands for, co-created with him, right? So let's see. Resources from the inner inherent value to the outer realized value. So the resources are going to be taken from your insides and expressed outwardly. You are going to heal on the inside, and then that's the resource for your outer life. And this heart on the picture is in the water, and the waves of the water have swallowed it. And let's see in my booklet what it says. C 1.2 is the number of the card. I have more and more texts for union and for mission separately. Let's focus on the union messages. Uncouple to connect. Isn't that interesting? Maybe you should first uncouple to then connect in union. Let's hear. When your heart is submerged into the water of your union and saturated by it, then that is a fulfillment in itself. In the practical daily life, then follows letting go. It can feel like a sort of an uncouplement to see that which your heart longs for so deeply submerged in the water and float alone in there, seemingly directionless. So when you've created this feeling of union, it can also feel like, that's new. That's like now floating around in me, but now what? You want to help out and you feel worked up to give your union's heart directions. But instead, wait and see what direction it takes by itself. Have patience. This realized value goes its own way. Now it is in the reality. It knows its own laws of operation. You are like a mother that follows her creation, her child, with interest on a distance. Now it starts to take shape. You can, however, bring some order to the way in which you stay vigilant with it. Your commitment is to have a look into that regularly. You enjoy the beauty of it and stay distant from control. Here it is important to know what codependency is and what being anchored in the soul. The first is a dependency of the value of your creation, whatever it is. Codependency, that is. And the second, being anchored in the soul, is being interdependent with the source of yourself and trusting that the other and the creation will also conduct themselves according to that internal anchored relationship. Now you can grow in relationship, in freedom relating with. You have come into your own in the relationship between you and source. You have created union and you trust that you will find that it will find its own way now. You guide the process of being in relationship, interdependent with people without codependency. Resources, well, that's a whole good, intricate, but very profound and true suggestion for how the universal Christ sees us having resources in our quest for twin flame union. He says essentially, we work from the inner to the outer. And he says essentially, when you found that union, inner and outer is one, then let also go of toxic ideas and tendencies of in the daily life than being codependent with someone else. That's not what union supports at all. You have to be in relationship, but not codependent, not melting together. You need to be relating, but not toxically falling together, as if you go back to an infant stage of your psychology and think that that is now divinely ordained. No. You will always be interdependent with God in the first place in your union. It won't be something that is without dependency. You're dependent on God. But with the twin flame, you are in relationship. You need to relate to each other in the atmosphere of your healed dependency on God. And because you have that correct, they will also have that correct. And that's the only correct way to start the further creation of your entire life and mission and whatnot. The further creation of heal in the inside and then manifest on the outside. Heal on the inside, manifest on the outside. That's the only way how that becomes healthy and will truly work. Right. In the goal section in the reading, place 2, we have this card from the Universal Christ. The sum that needs to be made and passing on how you can calculate what gives results. And the image shows 1111 and like an energy field in and around this miracle number code. B1.4. So this is the goal position in the reading, and the cards booklet says that the title is results. So the goal is you want results, and isn't that what we want, right? At this moment when we do this reading, we have been playing a game that is the devotional money game with 19 participants, and they have come now at their bonus day after 5 days of workbooks and whatnot. And this bonus day is also about goals, because we all need goals. If it's about money, then we need goals, but also if it's about progressing on the journey towards your harmonious union, you need goals. Because if you don't know that you want to go to exactly the consciousness state of harmonious union, then you will get lost and you don't understand which tools to use, and things go wrong like that. We all need goals because we want to have results, and this card is called results. So I think this is a very fit card at this position. Result comes from allowing it under your conscious eye and being guided by your conscious and loving attention. Result comes when you first have felt the energy and translated it into concrete statements about what you feel as the first step of the key tool. As the key tool teaches, through which a healing magic comes into existence. This healing magic is placed between you and the other and form a bridge. It is the relationship itself and also shows the value of it. When you can see that the healing that you do as a twin flame shapes and expresses the relationship, you get closer to results. Result is not something you desire for yourself. It is about your twin flame. He or she makes come true their own results via you, and vice versa. You are the catalyst, the transformer, the healer for your twin flame. It's not personal, it's not about you. Of course, this goes the other way around, the very same. This makes you free to ask a high commitment from them in the relationship, because you see it is about the other person. High commitments give divine love as a result. This deeper well of love is being broached when you purify the space of unclear vibrations. You make possible and come true the result for the other by clearing the energetic space. You are expert in clearing space for your twin flame so that they can heal themselves and go where their divine love source lies. You understand the role of your healing as twin flame in that light. You can assist others in getting clarity about reaching divine love in this way as well. Right. So that's the goal. We have resources that are rightly ordered, a rightly ordered heart in relationship to your source and divine source. Yeah, the divine source. A rightly ordered heart in a relationship with a divine source gives as result, and this is the goal, that you do it for them and they do it for you. And that broaches a deeper well of divine love. And it also gives you a role towards your twin flame that makes it correct to ask for a high commitment from them inside of that union. Because you see it is about the other person. It's really a holy co-creation. And to be that love for the other, that's like the goal. You are that mist of the magical number for them. And it all rests on a foundation. And that is the third place in this reading. And the universal Christ will enlighten us about what the foundation is. And it's this: moving from self-acknowledgement to value. So this heart is going to be thrown in the water as an act of surrender. That's where the hearts belong. Card C1.1. The foundation is, the card is called Cast Your Heart in the Sea. You have arrived at the invitation to self-acknowledgement, pure and simple. The acknowledgement of what and who you are is a powerful tool for transformation and manifestation. Transformation to a higher vibration and manifestation of your intentions, including the materialization of money. Yeah, because that's just included in union. So many people don't know that. They're very afraid of that, and they just want to run away from that sort of message, but it's completely included. I think we've talked about that for around 2 weeks now on my channel here. So you must have noticed that, right? But you are not yet there. You are at a moment at which you discovered the acknowledgement and start to really execute it. You are valuable and you create value. This fact can now be researched in your heart to become clear. When you feel that out, your heart will light up and a desire will arise in you to share from it. You can at first leave it there for a bit at this desire. So you feel that through fully. This is how you give to yourself first. And this is how everything of value starts. When you become more full yourself in your heart and your own fulfillment, you can later on also give without having to give anything up. For that matter, the act of casting your heart in the sea is not an action, but a grace that comes into existence from a longing. You share that grace with others that had similar pain of emptiness you once had at a certain point of your journey. This is your gift and it will be given automatically. See, because more hearts are in the sea. The way your heart will fall into the proverbial ocean of your feelings by mere proverbial gravitational force, which is the movement of becoming true. You could imagine that underneath the water of the ocean, an ocean ground does exist, and the heart will indeed slowly sink towards that rock solid existence and arrive. Your heart will be rocked there in the rhythm of the earth, suckling the breast of the ocean floor. This is where she is home. This is how you add service to your product or action to your relationship in union. Being refreshed and nurtured by the primal mother of the universe can be executed through your very products or service of your mission, and also can execute it through any communication, expression, gesture, and behavior inside your union that comes from the right place inside of you. And this is the true beginning of that. Congratulations. You can bring other people to self acknowledgement by seeing them, seeing the truth in them, and to acknowledge that with your words in a loving way. Through this, you can help people directly and powerfully. This is a quality that is important in every company and every professional situation and every union and every relationship. This is the beginning of everything that is valuable and the beginning and the core of selling in mission and relating in union. Right, mission, union, both parts of the same thing inside the same message. Now, it starts to occur to me that there's a lot of talk about hearts. So, the universal Christ is really about the heart. It's really about feeling the inner heart and also understanding that it does come together with your physical heart as well, because we are expressions of that inner value. That's what we are. It's the whole point of the twin flame journey. Is that we have like an inner truth and that we can embody that. That's the whole point of the twin flame journey. And to bring that deep spiritual truth and your physical life together as one. That's the whole point, right? So it is a lot about the heart and the feelings in the heart. And if the heart is surrendered, and if the heart makes a connection in the right way, and if the heart is connecting with the union truthfully, because it connects with the divine truthfully first, and have that all fall into place in the correct way. That is really what it is about. And it is, by the way, also exactly the process that I am healing in myself right now. I am in a healing process with the universal Christ. So I guess this is just coming together completely now for me and for you, full circle, because that is the very thing I'm in the course of deepening profoundly at this moment for myself, for my own union. Wow. Yeah. But this was the foundation. It is really about the foundation is you need to acknowledge yourself. Nobody's going to do that for you. And when you've done that again, just like the other cards earlier that we talked about, an order comes into being that is the correct order, and then you can start to share. Then you can start to have a real relationship with your twin flame that comes forward with expressions that are truly connected to this. Well, the heart is just soaked into the divine love, and it really starts to connect there. And that colors the gesture, the behavior, the expression, the communication. And it will have a completely and utterly different result and working through that than, let's say, the exact same word or the exact same expression or behavior outside of that wholesome connectedness of the heart. You need that. That is your foundation. There's no way around it. That doesn't exist. Or you can do it, but then you will fall out of that consciousness state that universal Christ teaches, which is like union consciousness, which is harmonious twin flame union. And if you start to deviate from that, or you only do a little bit of the form of it, but you lose connection with the content, with the relating, with the heart, with what it is really about, well, then that union consciousness will leave you. That harmonious twin flame union will leave you. I need a whole bunch of fresh air or something like. The heart needs a whole bunch of breaths. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm going through. Yeah. So these readings are healings itself, right? And first for me. So there you go. That's how it goes. This is the fourth position of the universal Christ. He chose this card, and it is the position of essence. What's the essence of all of this, what we've been talking about? And that is this card, D 3.4, manifestation power. And this is like a wand that is doing the magic and bringing forth the magic, the star of the magic in the sky. And it says an inherently, internally anchored process that is attuned to an essential procedure. Yeah, that's also a description of what magic is. We'll see. I think it will be explained to you right now in a second in the booklet. Mm, that's wrong. So this card that we have for the position of essence is called the coming together of creation. The essence is this: when your inner attunement is completed, the reality of your dreams will come visit you. Well, that sounds like the essence. When this process of the heart is completed, the reality of your dreams will come visit you. Well, there's a lot more. I will read it, but it sounds as though this was already it, right? What's the essence? It's like, what's the resource? We're going to work with your heart, says the universal Christ. What's the goal? Well, to make you relate correctly. What's the foundation of that? Well, to just let your heart be soaked into that divine source, right? What's the essence? When your inner attunement is completed in that way, your reality of your dreams will come visit you. When your heart is correctly attuned, your dream life comes out. That's just how it goes. That's just the law of creation. That such a wand is only a symbol for to call in the true miracle that it is like this. They can work together. Magic and miracle can work together, because with the magic you are bringing yourself in the right attunement to call it in. You have to do that for real. Otherwise, no miracle will come forward, because that comes from the alignment with the divine. When the alignment is there, the miracle will come forward. This is a moment of standing at the beginning of a grand joy. You have fulfilled yourself by now with enough energy to experience peace and depth in yourself. Qualities that you can now share because you are overflowing with it. This moment asks, however, before the feast of creation goes into high speed, some silent enjoyment and the anticipation, some extra rest, taking care of yourself, and keep grounding. By not making your creation compulsory, not focusing on it too much, it stays full and free. Creation comes because there is space for the universe to fill. Horror vacui. That's a term for it. Not because that was not even in the book. That's my addition. Not because you take in space by seeing if it's already arrived. By keeping busy with preparations or requirements about what will happen in every tiny detail. It's only because there is space in you that the universe will fill it with what truly fits you. True law of attraction, not fake TikTok law of attraction. That is the ego law of attraction, right? That's not that. Instead of that, focus on your energetic how, your creative identity, how energy flows through you, how you are accompanying that. Focus on that and the quality of it. My creative identity, my how, I call in words transform and manifest. And I can feel those two movements, transform and manifest, work together in my body and energy field as a fruitful motivating action all the time. This is how I can be with it in a sensitive way. And that is my focus while my source arranges further for my creation in the steps that I do not have control over. Through letting the energy circle in my own space, I prepare for new co creation to come in that fits exactly. Gratitude is appropriate and helpful in this stage. Yeah, you have arrived at this plateau of creation. Enjoy this moment with full attention and see the puzzle pieces come together. Your magnetic power is large at this point. Be conscious of how you show another who and what you are by how you act. You will be followed when you can stay present with an empty space, full of vibrating energy. That's the essence, says Universal Christ, of harmonious twin flame union, of learning what it is, of coming to the school that will open soon, that I will lead, in which we co create with the Universal Christ. The essence, the coming together of creation. All of this heart attunement to relate correctly and be surrendered into the heart. Have the heart correctly attuned to your relationship with Source itself, with God itself, or however you want to call it, doesn't matter. All of that to have this essence here, the coming together of creation. When your heart is correctly attuned to the universal Christ, you will manifest everything that your heart desires. And that's literal. And it's real. And it's actual. It's the truth. It's just the truth. If you're like, yeah, but that doesn't really work in my case. Well, you're not through that process yet. You're not correctly attuned yet. No problem. That's not a judgment like, oh, you're bad. Nothing will ever work out for you anymore at all. No, that's just like, okay, so now I know what I can start to open up, what I can start to do spiritual work on so that it will work out. The essence is that everything will fall together for you in the right place, like puzzle pieces that always belonged together right there. And your whole heart and your whole life starts to become an exercise in allowing that to happen, allowing that receiving to come through, allowing that to come in, to flow in, allowing that deeper and deeper, to allow that intimacy in the heart, in the truth of the heart, not a fantasy of the heart. Not a, oh yeah, let me do the heart. See, my heart is dancing there and saying nice things over here. But the true depth of the heart, where we're one, but truly one, not as the next spiritual goal in law of attraction spirituality. It's much more genuine than such maybe popular stances. And it doesn't matter if it's popular or not. if you popularize what I'm teaching, then that is the right teaching popularized. And that's also very good. So that's no problem. But I'm just trying to bring something across. Yeah. The true magic will come forward when the inner and the outer heart collide. And that is simply what the universal Christ lived before us, showed us how to do, and now we do it as well. It's oneness manifest. It's simple. It's just, it's like is. It is. But there is often a lot to let go of before we are at the is. And that's no problem. It's no problem to have all this stuff that you need to let go of. You just need to start that process of letting it go. The earlier we can be together there. And you and me, yes. Because we will be together there. And share. And co-create. You and me. And by the nature of that, we are all part of a twin flame union because we are human. By that very fact. We're, yes, simply being and sharing, but also manifesting our own twin flames to be there together with us, to be this in this cocoon of oneness. That is not an individual, but like the individual becomes the union. And there's still the simplicity of God and me and you relating in it. But the yous that are meeting are all unions instead of individuals. The individual has become the union. It's us here. It's me and my twin flame here. And it's you and your twin flame there. Yeah. And that calls in this whole life. Everything will be called in around your union, your harmonious union that you love, that are your friends, that are your supporters, that are your bringers of opportunities. Money gathers around you, resources, help, and also pleasure and fun and nutritious food and family and children and mission and all the things that are valuable in your life. Right, so we're going to get some more together with the universal Christ. Still always very powerful. I'm just completely blown away here. I hope you still see me. Let's get a message from the spiritual messages cards. Do I follow my head, or do I dare to allow myself to surrender to the choice of my heart? There's the heart again. That's the big question here. He just wants us to talk about the heart. I just feel like I can cry. So intimate. So intimate. Which is also where he touched me on my journey. so intimate, so thorough, so like I don't have words. There are no words to describe what happened. I will do that. I'm in the course of writing a book about that. My first book completely about that. It is already a lot in existing books that you can just buy via my website. But like my first book completely about it. So I do use a lot of words for it, honestly. But at the same time, it's like you can just circumscribe it or something. But how to express that depth of love that came in like a lightning strike. And it's still reverberating in me 5 years afterwards. It's like unspeakable. This is the personal messages. The choices that I make are an expression of my growing self respect. Right. Earlier we had also this the self-acknowledgement is important here. The self-respect is important here. It's not coming from the outside, it's just coming from the inside. The choices of your heart will be an expression of your growing self-respect. And that is just going to reverberate in all your relationships. Let's get a card from Divine Mother. We have 2 cards from Divine Mother. Okay. Oh, they're upside down. Look at that. Our Lady of the Sacred Hearth. She is the fire that you can warm your hands on. She is the sacred flame of the spirit that is wise and burns off what you don't need anymore and brings you the warmth that warms your heart so that you feel at home and safe and loved. Yeah. Card number 1. You are my child. I am your mother. Your home through my grace is always secure. You are never to fear being lost and abandoned. Your home is provided through my grace. You always have a home to return to through my grace. Surrender attachment and fear now, my cherished one. There is no need for it. Do you think that I would forget what you truly need? That I would deny you this? You who have belonged to me through all time and are my child, under my care and protection. Let go of all such worries now and pray to me. I will assist you. Our Lady of the Ocean of Rebirth. Card 28. I champion your growth, always. I know when hard edges are best to be softened, and when it is time for you to receive reward for efforts made. Allow me to help you release a karmic pattern so that you can now be reborn into new consciousness. Allow me to help you heal your life from the inside, that the outside may change and reflect your inner beauty and spiritual light. I am bringing you assistance now, that a force beyond your control may be softened and your successful growth assured. And let's look into the cards of Mary Magdalene. Oh, well, this one. We're always pretty quick here. There she is, the Magdalene herself, which is also a portrait of your deeper self that you have. But it is, of course, the twin flame of the Christ. So that's the completion we're looking for. Divine Mother helping you find this completion, assuring you that she's helping you and giving you everything that you need. No reason to doubt that. And the fulfillment of union is always the coming together of two complementary parts. Jesus the Christ and Mary of Magdala, twin flames. Living as one. Yes, in that time, only as simply teachers for their community, the teachers that had reached that deeper state, where your twin flame is also simply normally, just normal, comes join you. So one of the things that happens in that deeper stage. But also through time, they, but also others like Mother Mary and Joseph and other people, but especially them as well. That's Mary. That's that Mary. And through the history of the construction that came out of their existence as teachers, that became the religion of Christianity throughout time came to us. Also the inner image of this big king and queen, the king and queen. In our subconscious mind, we all know that there is a king and queen. Blown up through bringing us this idea through religion and culture and education and upbringing and whatnot. And in other cultures, that's sort of the same through similar stories. But this big blown up feel of there's a king and a queen has reached us. And that is because You are a twin flame too. You are that king or that queen. And the complementary part will reach you and become that couple with you there. And also because even though Jesus and Mary as the twin flames, were simply sharing with their community. And Mary and Joseph also had a role through the bigger thing of the culture and the religion. That is also what God wanted in a way, because he wanted to imprint in us the idea of the twin flames and that you are one too. Just like the idea of the Christ was here and you are that too. The idea of the Christ, that it is your higher self and you have that too. Everyone does. But moreover, not only that we live now in a time in which we have that imprint of, oh, the king and queen, and I am a twin flame too. But also, additionally, there is the Christ on earth now. That is literally that king, and the queen is here too. And I met them. And that's how I became initiated in all these secrets. And I'm able to pass you on this state of consciousness that it's all about. Which is just a self. And that's actually what this card also means in the deck of Tony Carmine Salerno. It's the author of the deck. It means the self. It is the self. The union is the self. It's not the individual that is the self. It's the union that is the self. And your role in the union, your part in the union. Now we have the angel answers. The situation will improve. Well, yeah, I just still have this feeling now, like I can cry. My heart, so intimate. Let's get the heart deck, the Oracle of the Roses. Let's see. Universal Christ, what do you want us to see from this deck? The Blessed One. Answer the call. Leadership. Your own power. Empowerment. Gifts for the soul. You're blessed. When you answer the call, it will come. Your leadership is needed to share in this teaching, to be together in it, to take it seriously, to follow its instructions, to live it. I always love the older version of the Christ and Magdalene time and symbols with the Egyptian cards. Ka. The energetic vortex, that is a double vortex. that you live inside of with your body. Think about what inner gaps you are filling with stuff from outside of yourself. You will become emotionally strong and independent. Idea for an exercise: breathe life energy in through your crown and spread it through your ka body. It's kind of fun that on the image you see that the double vortex is in between the two arms. Now, what's in between your two arms? The heart. The heart again. And in the 9-point energy system that I created with Divine Mother for the Twin Flame era, the heart is number 5, which is also movement. And this is also movement in the heart. There is just this eternal movement of the heart, isn't it? It's beating eternally. And when the outer heart stops beating, the inner heart is still beating on. Because you're in a divine rhythm that can't be made undone. So, and this card went back a little bit towards, are you in the heart connected correctly? Are you referring to your inside sources with your heart's attunement and alignment? Or are you actually secretly, or what have you, filling holes with stuff from outside, with attention from outside, or like drinks from outside, or even the twin flame now needs to answer your poor heart that needs love. And even the twin flame relationship is not for that. We've already seen that. It was very comprised into the first 4 cards that we did with the Universal Christ. It was in there that you need to relate to the divine yourself. That's where that is filled. And then you can freely co-create with the partner. So, and let's now have a look in the Divine Abundance cards. Maybe some qualities will tumble out, letting go. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. I can safely let go. Let go into the heart. Sink into the heart. You're not the manager of what that is or how that works. You're not the manager of how your union needs to come forward, what form it's going to get, at what time it is best. You're not the manager of that. That's not how it's designed. Extraordinary. There's a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. And that uniqueness comes forward when you let go, when you're not managing. They have the same color, almost. Lots of purple. Very spiritual color. Okay, okay. The dragon fae want to say something as well. And this is the male divine masculine dragon fae that stands for his masculine power in all its glory, which is the universal Christ energy, too. For many of you, it does stand for your twin flame. It also stands for the union consciousness provider, for God in a male form as well, that needs to have a place. It can be hard to trust that he knows what he is doing. The twin flame, divine masculine, and God, the male God, the Father God. But it's essential. Only then you truly open the heart as a divine masculine. As a divine feminine. It was just misspoken by me. Something might change, so this is the oracle of change. You belong. You are raised by the wolves. So no matter if you feel as though you're in a pack of wolves and you're a human being, you still belong. You do belong. You belong to the pack. You belong in your union. You belong to God. You belong as the daughter to Father God. You belong. You belong to the tribe that belongs to my school. We belong in the co-creation with the Christ Masters. Because that has already been established and can't be made undone anymore. It's already a done deal. But of course, to experience it, you need to come close. You need to come in. You need to come into the school. The school will open up a group year course soon. More about that soon. It's going to be called Twin Flame Abundance Now. Group year course. And we will have a whole program, and it will just 12 months per year. We'll just keep on going. And you can dive into all of this for real for a couple of years. And that will for sure make it all real for you and tangible in the core, in healing, in being with your true twin flame, in union, and also in all other daily life topics that are going to be, let's say, unionized. Although that sounds funny, maybe. Daily life topics such as writing, creativity, business, but also healing, sexuality, love, relationship, meditation, manifesting. All such topics and more will become unionized in that school program, the year group course program, Twin Flame Abundance Now. Yeah, we're going to get a energy field symbol of the 9-point energy system. And that is number 2. And this is the symbol for the eye. It means seeing yourself on the earth. It means the lowest of the places of the body in which you can feel it and access it. It is your feet, your legs, and the lowest point of your torso. Very grounded, very low to the earth, basic foundation where you carry yourself. And it has a lot to do with what came forth twice before about self-acknowledgement and self-respect. And the seeing yourself as a human being on the earth is important. It's not about some fantasy flying away in the sky. Oh, I mean, visualizing has its role, but that's not the point of how you want to live. You want to live on the earth for real with your true twin flame in union. And it needs to become actual. Just a loving, beautiful daily life, in which you are clearly very physical, right? Very physical. So you need that. And that is where the true work needs to be done. It's in who you truly are, not in your fantasies. They were already here. But what you are concrete, that's where the work is. That's where the ego is still roaming around and like effing everything up for you. Right? That's really where it happens. Or not. So these are very grounded too, very earthy. This is the Native American cards. So can we get a card? Universal Christ. Card 16. Let's look in the book. Taikomo, god of rain. Gestation. Taikomo was, once upon a time, a creator god who was called He who sewed up the world. He arose from foam, from water, the only thing that existed. From the Californian Yuki, Taikomo is he who walks alone. And also, he created the world. After creating the world, including humans and giving them language, he ascended to the skies and lived as an old wayfarer, a pilgrim of the heavens, detached from the lives of humans. When it rains, whenever life is nurtured and brought forth, we are reminded of his great gifts. He's the God of rain. Let the waters of your heart burst forth and nourish the world around you. Give with no expectation of repayment. Gestation, solitude, fertility, tears, cleansing, healing, autumn. Well, we're in the autumn here in Europe. Gestation. Let the waters of your heart burst forth and nourish the world around you. Let the waters of the heart burst forth and nourish the world around you. That was the heart again. This beautiful, sacred, intimate heart. And this ball is also a symbol of depth and intimacy, and it's full of numbers and symbols and letters. And I'm just going to grab a handful and we're going to see what it brings. V, exclamation mark. C, J, I, D, B, M, T, hashtag, E, 8, 3. Okay. Vice. I have the word vice. Well, that comes out of your heart when you're. I can't show it. Vice. Okay. That comes out of your heart or is created in your heart when you're not cleansing it with the power of the waters of your heart, right? When the heart is not correctly attuned, then vices come forth in your character, in your action, in your operation. I have another interesting one now. How about this? DMT. This M is like DMT. Demethyl okay, I can't say. I don't know. We have to look that up. DMT is, of course, an abbreviation of a chemical connection, and it is known to be present in certain drugs or something. And ayahuasca is a well-known one of them, which is like essentially it's tea of two kinds of roots of trees or something. We need to look that up, you know. You could look that up, what exactly that is. And it brings forth this DMT, which is actually also already inside your brain, a chemical product of brain processes. But it can be induced sometimes extra with like more or less natural substances as well. Well, one of the secrets is that doing the twin flame inner work, how it is taught through me, as in accordance with the universal Christ, as taught to me by Divine Mother, created into a tool over the course of 15 years that I saw should work because it also has the same working as what I experienced with my first spiritual teacher 25 years ago already. Doing that true twin flame inner work in the right way actually unlocks this already in your brain, DMT. It already gives you this experience of going in this deeper trance where things will feel and seem. Well, this one is gone as well. The T went away. The T went away. Oh, I'll see that later. This experience is generated from doing the twin flame inner work. You don't need anything from the outside anymore. But it does give an effect in the brain that is actually some sort of an okay, good in between stage because of all the changes in your brain that will transpire from the inner work. And that sort of guides that along, or like is present. It works better when this DMT feeling is present. The changes work better. You have less resistance to the changes that are necessary. So, well, there you go. And of course, it is a very high vibrational place to be with your true twin flame in you, in harmonious union. It is true. So it is like DMT without, it's like DMT, not only on steroids, but DMT cheap version because it's for free. It just makes use of your natural body processes. But somehow this was highlighted here, which is interesting. I think it is the union consciousness on a physical level, pretty much what that comes down to. What it like does in a chemical sense in you, but that is only so that the changes can happen inside of you that ought to happen, so that everything falls into place like puzzle pieces, and you want that, and that's good. And it's not to make you dizzy or to have fun necessarily. It just makes that process go smooth, and then it falls into place in a new way, and you can just walk, let's say, sort of outside again in this newfound world that is your harmonious union twin flame world. Everything brought together with the essence of this is everything coming together that your soul always already wanted, all brought to you at once as one. And then you walk into that life like that. And then you have nothing to do anymore with that. It's like so DMT or so high vibrational. It's just become your new reality. And that's okay, and it's good, and it's normal, and you're not special there. And then that served its role as a transitionary helper. But because it spreads out and out and out, and it heals and heals and heals. You're not done yet. You're not dead yet, when you come together with your true twin flame in harmonious union. So it does continue. So it does keep on accompanying you, this DMT thing as well. But it's normal, it's integrated. That's where it should be. It's not recreational. It is creational. It creates your life, which should be your actual norm, which is life in union. Well, we have the number. This is also used as a number site, number 3 and number 8, which I usually take also as like energy point 3 and energy point 8. Energy point 3 is also the anchoring in point of the divine feminine into the individual energy system. It is also where you feel at home. We had the feeling at home too, right? In a card. We did. And it is also where things become concrete. And number 8 is where you open up your ideas and to the light, and where the light comes in from the higher spheres. So it's like connecting where it becomes real in a very personal homecoming sense. 3, which is the hip area from behind, and 8, where the light comes in, and connecting these two forces. Feeling very at home, but in the light, in the Christ light. Right. That's that's your whole assignment on earth, right? And to truly feel at home with that. That's the whole art. It's like your life artistry comes out there. How do you feel at home with the true light? To such a depth and degree that we talk about this life with the true twin flame in union. Life as union. Unionized life. And now we have a J and a B and an exclamation mark. Well, that we can put that everywhere, right? The exclamation mark. Well, that's because this is a very important reading. And the T is on the floor. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm done talking about the letters and numbers. So I hope there was something for you there. Because it can also mean individual things for you. Who knows? Let me know with a comment. Let's get a vampire, because after all, it is almost Halloween, right? So here we go. Deep longing, begging, obsession. It's like bordering on a toxicity. But it can also fall into to the side. It can fall to the side of everyone will have a deep longing that is actually your calling towards to come closer to this phenomenon, to come closer to union consciousness, to actually do it, to say yes, to undergo it, to come in to the school, to subject yourself to voluntarily to what it brings you, to come in and experience it, to learn the lessons that are there for you in it. Or it can fall to the side of, well, now you're going to go. You bring it on the ego level. you become obsessed, you become crazy, you start to act crazy, you start to stalk your twin flame, you start to go over boundaries, which is just a sign of that on the psychological level you need a lot of healing. So your psychology is not aligned with your divine core, your divine being. um, that you feel this calling to go there from, but you have a tendency to live that out with your ego in the outside world, and then you can become sort of crazy with unhealthy touches. And the remedy is you need to go all the way in the actual journey towards that core of union consciousness, make that fully click in with you so that it becomes true under guidance, etc., so that you know that it really happened. And then that starts to work on your psychology to heal that completely. And then your psychology will come out as aligned with that inner core. And your psychology will be healed now. And your outer obsession will have transformed into an inner dedication to this topic that will never go away because you're so loyal to it. Okay, so because the Christ Masters have as the underlying philosophy of what it is they're actually pointing out with the idea of union consciousness, this book, A Course in Miracles. I'm going to open it and see what comes out as if it's an oracle itself and read it. Lesson 91. Miracles are seen in light. It is important to remember that miracles and vision necessarily go together. This needs repeating and frequent repeating. It is a central idea in your new thought system and the perception that it produces. The miracle is always there. Its presence is not caused by your vision. Its absence is not a result of your failure to see. It is only your awareness of miracles that is affected. You will see them in the light. You will not see them in the dark. To you, then, light is crucial. While you remain in darkness, the miracle remains unseen. Thus, you are convinced it is not there. This follows from the premise from which the darkness comes. Denial of light leads to failure to perceive it. Failure to perceive light is to perceive darkness. The light is useless to you then, even though it is there. You cannot use it because its presence is unknown to you, and the seeming reality of the darkness makes the idea of light meaningless. To be told that what you do not see is there sounds like insanity. It is very difficult to become convinced that it is insanity not to see what is there and to see what is not there instead. You do not doubt that the body's eyes can see. You do not doubt the images they show are reality. Your faith lies in the darkness, not the light. How can this be reversed? For you, it is impossible, but you are not alone in this. Your efforts, however little they may be, have strong support. Did you but realize how great this strength, your doubts would vanish. Today we will devote ourselves to the attempt to let you feel this strength. When you have felt the strength in you, which makes all miracles within your easy reach, you will not doubt. The miracles your sense of weakness hides will leap into awareness as you feel the strength in you. 3 times today, set aside about 10 minutes for a quiet time in which you try to leave your weakness behind. This is accomplished very simply, but you instruct yourself that you are not a body. Faith goes to what you want, and you instruct your mind accordingly. Your will remains your teacher, and your will has all the strength to do what it desires. You can escape the body if you choose. You can experience the strength in you. Begin the longer practice periods with this statement of true cause and effect relationships. Miracles are seen in light. The body's eyes do not perceive the light, but I am not the body. What am I? See, this is so interesting because we have been talking about we want to really bring everything to the place where the body is. We want to have everything so grounded. But this book does bring you very extensively and almost ostentatiously to the fact that what you truly are, your identity, is not the body. You are the spirit. So it really goes into you're not the body, you're the spirit, and that's where the miracles happen. And it is crucial for twin flame union. It is also the truth. Seen from another place, this brings you in the development of union consciousness, which brings in your twin flame, with whom you then do live on earth. You see, so it will come true on earth. While you are the spirit, not the body on earth. So that's sort of like that force field, like almost a contradictory thing, right? It ended with, but I'm not a body. What am I? The question with which this statement ends is needed for our exercises today. What you think you are is a belief to be undone. But what you really are must be revealed to you. The belief you are a body calls for correction, being a mistake. The truth of what you are calls on the strength in you to bring to your awareness what the mistake conceals. If you are not a body, then what are you? You need to be aware of what the Holy Spirit uses to replace the image of a body in your mind. You need to feel something to put your faith in as you lift it from the body. You need a real experience of something else, something more solid and more sure, more worthy of your faith, and really there. If you are not a body, what are you? Ask this in honesty, and then devote several minutes to allowing your mistaken thoughts about your attributes to be corrected and their opposites to take their place. Say, for example, I am not weak, but strong. I am not helpless, but all-powerful. I am not limited, but unlimited. I am not doubtful, but certain. I am not an illusion, but a reality. I cannot see in darkness, but in light. In the second phase of this exercise period, try to experience these truths about yourself. Concentrate particularly on the experience of strength. Remember that all sense of weakness is associated with the belief that you are a body, a belief that is mistaken and deserves no faith. Try to remove your faith from it. If only for a moment, you will be accustomed to keeping faith with the more worthy in you as we go along. Relax for the rest of the practice period, confident that your efforts, however meager, are fully supported by the strength of God and all his thoughts. It is from them that your strength will come. It is through their strong support that you will feel the strength in you. They are united with you in this practice period in which you share a purpose like their own. Theirs is the light in which you will see miracles because their strength is yours. Their strength becomes your eyes that you may see. 5 or 6 times an hour at reasonably regular intervals, remind yourself that miracles are seen in light. Also, be sure to meet temptation with today's idea. This form would be helpful for this special purpose. Miracles are seen in light. Let me not close my eyes because of this. Miracles are seen in light. Let me not close my eyes because of this. That was lesson 91. The universal Christ brings you the miracle that is your union. Your harmonious twin flame union exists just like Christ's existed, and it just came forward as a miracle. Miracles are natural in an earth experience, experienced from the experiencer that is indeed in the light, that is the soul, the spirit itself, that is the you. Miracles are natural then. So when you go live there, everything will be miraculous and every miracle will just be here and take place in a very normal way. As if it is just the sunshine coming in and a cloud coming over. Nothing strange, just miracles. The miracle will be everything and everywhere. So the idea of miracle falls away. And that will become your reality. And that's how you live in union consciousness with your true twin flame, sharing your mission made out of true divine love in the heart. And all of this is created by that source of strength, the heart in which you meet the divine and the divine meets you. This is the true portal through which everything is accomplished. And you already have it. You only need to put it on. Yeah. So I hope this message from the Universal Christ helps. And let me know what it does for you with a comment below. And if you came here all the way in the video and you're not sure what you want to write, but you want to be part of the conversation nevertheless, Jen, give me 2 flames. What about that? 2 emoticons of a flame. And if you can't find the emoticons, then write twin flames as an acknowledgement of your desire. What about that? Thanks for attending. Thanks for following me all the way through in this excavation of what the Universal Christ wanted to share with us about twin flame union. And the point is, of course, never that we get to hear it, to understand it, to know it. The point is going to be that we need to apply it to ourselves. And you can start to apply that to yourself by coming closer. And again, we'll be talking about this many more times in the near future because it's so awesome. Today, take into account that the group year course, Twin Flame Abundance Now, will start up soon. And that'll be such a beautiful place for you to make all of this come true, to come in and sink into this truth and really start to apply it to yourself and feel for yourself and experience for yourself how true this is, and know that the Christ Master, the universal Christ, and his twin flame are the king and queen of your unconscious mind that you want to have be alive there. And it is a blueprint for your union as well. And they are there. And they will be all the time with you and grant you their model that you can also grow into the twin flame union of your dreams that will birth the full life of your dreams. Of your dreams. Everything. Yeah. And that's really how you ought to live. It's just your birthright. So don't be mistaken about that. It's not special. It's just that you are going to let it come through where someone else is still resistant. And can then later on learn from you, because that will be your mission, right? That you can support with making ambition business and whatnot. Oh, so many wonderful things to learn and to manifest and to grow into and all of that. I'm looking so much forward to doing all of that with all of you and, make friends there and just have it all become this life that it promises, full of relationship all around, all from the heart. Okay, love you very much. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you real soon, and I'm quite sure that I will see you again. Love from Petra.